All right, we're going to get started. If I can find Ryan Thackeray with Rotary Bucks. Take it away, Ryan.
Thanks, sir.
Good afternoon. Well, y'all should know the drill by now, but if you don't know the drill is that if you have any happy news you would like to share today, you can share that news here with a microphone. We just ask that you drop some happy bucks. We don't want sad bucks, happy bucks right in here. It all goes to Alzheimer's research. Scott's got a wad of cash over here, folks.
So I am happy that everybody, of all the people who participated in a Happy Feet program at Alexandria Elementary School this week, had lots of kids show up and get free tennis shoes. And it was great to see their smiling faces. Also, I'm very happy to announce we've got over 25 Rotarians that have signed up to be Rotary readers at Alexandria Elementary School. We have filled we have a reader for every classroom except for 3 fifth grade classrooms and 2 special ed classrooms. So if you feel called to do so, please do that. And if you don't feel called to read, they also have lunch buddies now. And you can either go and you could be assigned to students and you could go once a week or every other week and have either breakfast or lunch with that student where you'll play a game, just talk to the student, or do some type of activity. So if you'd like to sign up, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. I also know as a parent of a child that goes to Greenville County Schools, Tuesdays are tater tot nacho bar days for Greenville County Schools. So who wouldn't want to be a lunch buddy on tater tot nacho bar day? Susie?
I have multiple things to be happy about. First off, my son-in-law got his white coat for the Greenville Medical University. So we're all excited about what lays ahead there. November the 1st, which is Veterans Day. Do I have that date right? Health and Happiness Hour is going to be in Greer at La Jolla. So mark your calendars because I don't see it on our calendars on the table. Health and Happiness, that gives us an opportunity to mingle and cross-pollinate with other Rotary clubs and share ideas and grow our clubs and the Rotary brand together. So hope to see you guys there for a lot of fun.
Thank you, Susie. More happy bucks here. I see some more happy bucks. Y'all are flush with cash today, Rotary. I like that. That's good. That's what we want here. We're trying to raise money for Alzheimer's research.
Thanks, Ryan. This is Elizabeth Garrison Razor right here in Denver. Downs Farm starts our fall festival this Friday, and it goes through November the 10th. So I really want to encourage you all to come. And also, we're having a pre-season sale. So tickets, if you buy your tickets online, they're 20% off between now and Friday. So go ahead and get your tickets. And then we have a special concert on October the 27th. This guy named Jason Crabb, who's a contemporary Christian singer who's award-winning and really celebrated. Jason Crabb's going to have a concert the Sunday before Halloween. So just wanted to let y'all know that. Thanks.
Thank you. Oh, and Bob?
I've got happy books because I went to Discover Rotary. I brought a guest, Brian Kingray. I was with 5 people totally interested in a club. 3 of them are here at this table. They're highly interested because they figured if I got in this club, anybody could.
Thank you, Bob. More happy bucks over here.
Hi, I'm Chris Rigby. I'm delighted to be the newest member of this club and just would share that I celebrated my 70th birthday with my family in England last week. So,
well, happy birthday, Chris, and welcome to the club.
Hey there, I'm Jason Boffey. I'm a prospective member, but what I was happy about is we had our daughter do a Rotary Youth Exchange this summer. She went to Germany, stayed with a great family for 3 weeks. The daughter came back, stayed with us. Second time we've done the program, absolutely amazing. And you know, Rotary just brings people together throughout the world, and it was a really great experience.
Thank you for sharing that. We love it when prospective members are dropping cash here in the Happy Bucks bucket. That's a great win. Roger's got some frog skins over here in his hand, I see.
I'm happy that today is one of my favorite events. The Teacher of the Year is the child of 2 school teachers. I know how hard you all work and how much you get paid. So thank you for your service.
Thank you, President Roger. Last call for Happy Bucks. I know I'm feeling happy just hearing all that good news. Last call. Well, we'll do Happy Bucks again every Rotary meeting, so make sure you bring your dollar bills with you and the good news to share on the second, fourth Tuesday of each month. But thank you all.
All right, just a few quick announcements here. First, We closed off the survey. We did the club member satisfaction survey a few weeks ago. We actually got 76 responses, which is fantastic. I think the most we've ever gotten is like 30. So very, very happy with the response. We're already working on some things, and we'll share more about that with you in October. Let's see. I heard Veterans Day mentioned at our November 12th meeting. We will honor veterans. Jenny sent a note out about this, but we need all of our veterans to please send us a picture of you from your service days. Tell us what branch you were with. We'd love to honor you on Veterans Day. That's also the day of our district governor visit. This Thursday, the 26th, we have our after hours club meeting. The after hours club is flourishing, and quite a few members. I think we're getting close to 30 now. It's over at Scott's firm, Craig Golden Davis, Andrea's firm as well, where she's right there. Okay. This Thursday at 5:30, October 3rd, Thursday at Southern Side Brewing Company. And then our next luncheon, October 8th. So I think that's still 2 weeks out. We have Will Ragland from the Milltown Players joining us. All right, if you bow your head for our invocation, please, I'd like let us take a moment to remember all the religions represented in the Rotary family. Let us also recall that when we were invited to join our club, we were not asked if we were a Protestant, a Hindu, a Muslim, a Jew, a Catholic, or a Buddhist, or a Sikh. You were not asked because all religions are welcome in our Rotary family. Please join me in a moment of reflection and thanks with these words. With our friends beside us and no person beneath us, with the bonds of Rotary between us and our worries behind us, with our goals before us and no task beyond us, with a thirst for knowledge and a dream of a polio-free world, we are thankful for our Rotary friends and the meal we are about to share. Thank you, shalom, and amen. Would you please rise for our pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, liberty, justice for all. All right, I think Iris is up next.
Hello, everyone. I'm here to introduce our guests. If you could please hold your applause until everyone is standing. Hunter Patrick, LaRonda Triplett, and Hunter Jones, members of guests of the club. We've got Jennifer Minnick, who's a guest of Laura Nicholas. Brenda Kufis, who is a guest of Andrea Kufis. Lisa Dacus, Amanda Young, Shane Cannon, Victoria Reckelboom, Brian Kingery, John Antonucci, guest of the club. And we also have our nominated teachers of the year. We have Chris Rigby and Christina Wieland, staff and teacher of the month. And then we also have Jason Buffy. We also have a visiting Rotarian, Eric Baker. Welcome, guys.
Thank you again, Ryan, for your efforts on CART's behalf. The big news at CART continues to be Leqembi, which got its FDA approval. And while it's not a cure, it helps remove plaque that's already formed in the brain and prevents more plaque from forming. So it does stop people from getting worse. If you want to avoid Alzheimer's, remember the line, sugar is the new smoking. A recent study involved 37,000 people, found that consuming 2.5 teaspoons of sugar today had the greatest risk of increase for Alzheimer's, especially among women. So that's the latest news on that front. Now, our CART effort helps you battle this disease for everyone here and for your family. Put your pocket cash in the blue bucket, and when you do it, it's matched by a club member. And then we make sure you know who that club member is. And this month's club member is our past president, Ron DeMonet, who was our September match. Ron attended Cornell, Georgia State, the Georgia Institute of Technology, and then he spent 40 years in the business before he decided to get out of that entirely. And he has started Ron DeMonet coaching at the Dawn Retreat Center. Ron helps your key people find balance and satisfaction in all aspects of their work and their lives. He is a certified life coach, loves working with people, and who need just a little coaching as they navigate life. Now, today is your only opportunity to get Ron to come up with a buck, because we didn't have a meeting this month. So your contribution in the cart bucket is the only opportunity for a match this month. And so thank you for that. In October, the match will be made by Surinder Jan, who from a number of other companies in the textile, paper, chemical field founded Jan Chem. He also received the Order of the Palmetto during our August meeting and works to promote peace here and worldwide. Obviously, he's an active member in Rotary service projects and asks your participation with a contribution to the cart bucket this and next month. And thank you very much.
Okay, it's Rotary Scholar Day. Another one. This is our 2021, Service Above Self Scholar, Lana Abunajim. She is now a graduate of the University of South Carolina with a paltry 3.8 GPA. I think if you added all my 4 years together, I could have had a 3.8 GPA. Bachelor's in Public Health with a minor in Medical Humanities and Culture. That'll get your attention. She is still on our dime for graduate school because she only used 2.5 years as an undergraduate, and now she's about to do graduate school. She's applying to physician assistant school. She's already in at School of Medicine in Columbia. She's holding out for a couple of other good offers, see what happens. But this is our time once a year to hear from our scholars. Lana, floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Strange, and good afternoon. I'm so delighted to be here for my 4th year speaking for all of you. Being a part of Rotary Club for the past few years has been such an honor, and I've been able to share a space with so many like-minded individuals, and I'm so thankful for all the opportunities this organization has provided me. As I reflect on the past year, I'm filled with gratitude for the opportunities I've had to serve and contribute to various causes. This year has been a journey of growth and impact, and I'm excited to share some of the highlights with you. One of the most fulfilling experiences I have had the opportunity to work with is Habitat for Humanities. Contributing towards the construction of a home for a single mother has been so rewarding. I spent the day at the construction site helping build the walls of a home and providing a stable and loving environment for a family who needed it most. It was so inspiring to see so many people come together for such a good cause. Closer to home, I had the pleasure of working with my local community at the mosque. I took part in setting up and cleaning for Eid celebrations, ensuring that these important occasions were organized and enjoyable for all people attending. Additionally, I worked with our Muslim youth group on the hijab booth, engaging with the younger generation and offering them the resources and support to make the booth successful. It was special to share my experiences with the younger generation and see how they make an impact. At my college, my involvement with the Arab Student Association and the Muslim Student Association allowed me to contribute in a meaningful way as well. Organizing potlucks and awareness booths provided a platform to spread information on the ongoing Palestinian cause. It was incredible to see our collective efforts foster understanding and solidarity with our campus on our campus for my community. The centerpiece of my service this year has been working with Pathways to Healing. Volunteering on their hotline and accompanying sexual assault survivors to hospitals has been a profoundly impactful experience for me. I've had the privilege of speaking with victims, offering them support, and guiding them through medical checkups and procedures. This role opened my eyes to so many new things and gave me a better understanding of the importance of serving others. Being able to help someone through something so traumatic was so rewarding, and I hope to continue my work with them. I'm deeply thankful to the Rotary Club for making this year of service possible. Without their support and inspiring community, none of these achievements would have been possible. The Rotary Club has been a source of encouragement and inspiration, and I'm so grateful to be part of such a dedicated group. As I look back on this past year, I am motivated to continue serving and making a change. Each experience has taught me invaluable lessons about empathy, resilience, and the power of community. I am committed to carrying these lessons forward and hope to continue my journey to serve for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Lana. I'm delighted to introduce our speaker today, Dr. Burke Royster. He has been superintendent of Greenville County Public Schools since 2012, and during his tenure in leadership, the overall graduation rate of our public schools has risen some 12 points. Here's a fun fact about Dr. Royster. He actually started as a teacher at Star Iva Middle School in Anderson 3 way back in 1980. So over, I guess, many decades now, he has been a true friend of and leader in public education, a leader we are blessed to have in Greenville, and also a friend of Rotary. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Royster.
So I'll know one very important thing about Rotary. It's more important than anything else. Somebody already mentioned it, because I was a Rotarian for like 16 years. Whatever time it's supposed to end, I believe yours is 1 o'clock. There's like this dash for the door. So I'm going to try to keep you inside that time. What they asked me to talk about was the state of the district, which usually takes 45 minutes. All right, so you're going to get like this compressed version. But I have sent you the whole version. So if you want to look at it at your leisure or get more details about what I talk about, you can do that. So like the first part of it's always a little bit about us. So what does the district look like? Then a little bit about where do we stand academically? Then what are our goals for where we'd like to be and how are we progressing towards them? So the first part is kind of the scope of the district. We're the 44th largest school district in America. We have 78,000, as of last week, 78,090 students. That number changes every day. People go in and out. There are about 14,000 school districts in America. So if we're number 44, you can kind of tell a little bit about the size of the rest of them. And the ones that are above us in size, if you start about number 25 or so, they are tremendously larger than we are. We've got 12,000 employees, 6,000 of whom are teachers. Now, if you go right down the street to Greenville High and coach tennis, you're counted in that 12,000. That's all you do, but you get a check for being a tennis coach. So everybody that works for us is in that number. 6,000 are teachers. Obviously, our most critical employees, but it requires the support and leadership of the remainder of those employees to make everything function the way it should. Our students come to us speaking 79 different languages. That is not that big a barrier. Generally speaking, a student comes to us, and the younger they are, the more quickly this happens. They fairly quickly acquire English. Very quickly. What began to happen about 3 or 4 years ago, we began to see an influx of students arriving, one of these languages. They had never been in school anywhere. Now, that's problematic enough if they show up and they're 6, 7, or 8 years old. Now, you imagine the challenge when they show up and they're 15, 16, and 17 years old. Never been in school because they have come from countries where they had no general access to any sort of educational system. Education was reserved for the privileged elite few. They also sometimes speak dialects within those 79 languages, which presents another challenge. So that's extremely challenging, and it's a phenomenon that has occurred fairly recently. Our Food and Nutrition Services Office fixes district-wide 85,000 meals a day. And I'm not supposed to say it this way, but they do it at a profit, which is unusual for a school district food service system. In other words, they take no money from the general fund, from the fund that runs the school district. They are self-sufficient. We're governed by a 12-member elected school board. Now, I'll pause here for a civics ad. All right, they run for office, half of them every 2 years. This November, 6 seats are up for election. So I would encourage you, if you're not, surely as a Rotarian, you're registered to vote. If you're not, you can still register to go to MySC Votes. You can do the registration. It's not too late to register for this election. The important thing is, if you live in Greenville County Schools, odds are 50-50, your board seat's up for election. It is a nonpartisan race. So it doesn't appear at the top of the ballot. It appears down below. Some people go in and throw a lever for one party or the other. If you do that, you will not cast a vote in the school board election unless you go down and vote specifically for the school board. But I would encourage all of you to participate in that nonpartisan section of your ballot. Obviously, very important to us to have quality school board members. 14% of our students choose to go to school somewhere other than the school to which they are assigned. We've got 19,000 members of the PTA. Our buses run 38,000 miles a day. How many of you are behind a bus sometime this morning or anticipate you'll be behind one sometime this afternoon? If you're going to bet on something, that's pretty good, pretty safe bet. 38,000 miles, that's a lap and a half around the equator every day. We have 105 active facilities. You can see 83 of them are newly constructed or renovated since 2003. Our newest buildings that we have opened, you see them listed there. Our next new school to open is Reedy Laurel Elementary, which will serve sort of the kind of the Verde area around on that side of Greenville. You see the 5x24 additions we put on at those elementary schools, 5 schools, 24 classrooms each. We're still building for growth. We maintain, spread over 800 square miles, 12.9 million square feet of facilities and 3,000 acres of grounds. So now you think back about your weekend plans for cutting your grass and the things you have to do around your house, then multiply that by, I don't know, 24.9 million probably. Most people got a half acre or less, or square footage, 3,000 acres of ground. Shift to the next one. There you'll see a different list, our most recently completed projects, the number of seats we added, and our next projects to be undertaken. There may be others in here, but one of your club members, Scott Powell, who was sitting right over there, has been instrumental in a number of those designs of those schools. Next one. All right, obviously it takes money to run all this. If you take all of our students and divide them into the total amount we spend and divide that by not the number of days that we're there or the number of days the buildings are there, the number of days they go to school, that's 180. $62 a day per student. So a student's there somewhere between 6.5, and then if they ride the bus or high school stays longer in elementary, 6.5 to 7.5. They're engaged in some activity at the high school. They might be there till 11 o'clock. But if you have young children, if you took the minimum number in that, 6.5, I'm not sure you're going to find somebody to watch your child for 6.5 hours for $62. If you do, my suggestion would be probably don't hire them. Yeah. Well, they may not be the most dependable person in the world. I think the going rate for watching your child's far higher than that, and we're going to instill a lot of value besides that. All right, it's important when you look at how you spend money in schools because there is such variance in the size of school districts. 14,000 of them, we're number 44. So you imagine how small some of them are. On a more localized note, anybody ever been to McCormick? All right, there's like three, 4 people in there been to McCormick. Very rural county, right? They have a county school district in McCormick County. You know how many schools they have? 1. You know how many students they have? 600. But they're a school district. So the only way to legitimately compare is per pupil. So we're the 8th lowest per pupil expenditure in the state. In a minute, you'll see why we are not lower than that, and it's for a very good reason. Administrative costs, though you might read on social media something different, but we all know social media is very reliable and very factually based. We spend less than a penny out of a dollar on leadership administration. Well, somebody got to run all this. It doesn't just run itself, as you would know. That's our general fund budget is $922 million. That is the overall driving budget of the school district. If you add all of our budgets together, because there's some special revenue, you get it for this purpose, you must spend it for that. You put in the food and nutrition services budget, you can only spend it on that. Debt service, which pays for bonds we sell to build buildings and do major improvements and buy major equipment. You add all those together, it comes to about $1.3 billion. So the big budget's $922 million to general fund. There are people in this room that are teachers. I'm in here. People in here from communications. All of us are paid out of that budget. Pays the light bill, pays the insurance, pays for supplies, small equipment. Big equipment comes out of the capital budget. Pays the driving operating cost of the school district. So where are we spending all that? Well, $509 million we're spending on teachers and instructional aides. Not an aide in the library, not an aide, clerical aide in the office, an aide in a classroom. So that's pre-K, kindergarten, and special ed. And teachers. That's every kind of teacher. The ones you immediately think of and the ones you might not think of. So the 3rd grade regular classroom teacher, an 11th grade English teacher, a speech therapist. They're delivering instructional services directly to a child. Automotive teacher, whatever kind of teacher. All other employees, $286.6 million. The largest work groups in all other employees, building services, there's like 1,250 people in there. That's all the custodians, grounds people, and the maintenance people. Transportation has 700 plus people in that work group. So 6,000 teachers, 12,000 total employees. So you start pretty well seeing how quickly the other 6,000, what makes up that other 6,000. All other expenditures, $68.4 million. Utilities, insurance, all those things I talked about earlier. All right, a little bit about our students. You walk down downtown Greenville, you don't think about this, right? 56.3% are pupils in poverty. That's not what it looks like right out front. That's not generally what it looks like on your commute coming into wherever you may be going during the day or in your neighborhood. But that's what the county looks like. 23.3% multilingual learners and almost 16% of the students we serve have some disability, and we're providing special education services to them. Homeless students, 2.5%. Now, a lot of people think that, all right, that's somebody that's like sleeping outside at night. It would be that person. But this is the federal definition, so it's anybody that doesn't have a stable home. By the week motel, jump from relative to relative. Now, not living with a uncle all the time or living with a grandparent all the time, but jumps from place to place to place. All right, academically, you see, all this right here says to you is at the elementary and middle school level, math and English language arts, we're consistently and steadily improving. What's not listed here, but it's equally important, is the amount of learning that it wasn't lost during the pandemic, it was missed. We pretty well have recovered that. When I say pretty well, we're about almost to 100% by grade, by level, and by subject back to pre-pandemic test scores or higher. So if you go to the next one, you'll see the growth in our high schools, ELA, math, science, or U.S. history. Those are end of course tests. Those other tests are elementary and middle school, English language arts and math, beginning at the 3rd grade, and they take that test annually in the 8th grade. Here's 2 important things to know about that, including about the report cards. 23 report card because the state hadn't issued the 24 report card. You see that we had 37% of our schools excellent and 91% excellent, good, or average. Here's 2 things that people don't necessarily know about this. All right, when you were in school, depending on when it was and where it was, 90 to 100 was an A, or 92 to 100, probably, right? And that's what it always was. This year it's 90 to 100, the next year it's 90 to 100, the next year. From room to room to room, it was 90 to 100, whether it was the English class, the history class, or the science class. The test scores marks to get you to those levels of excellent, good, average. The easiest example to give you is it's as if 90 is an A this year, and next year it's 92. And the next year is 93. And the next year is 94. It keeps moving up. So it's not an absolute score that you can focus on that. Well, if I get that same score next year, I'll still make an A. Not the way it works. Here's the other thing most people don't know. Those tests that were on that previous slide, they're based on standards that are taught in those grade levels in English language arts and math, and at the high school in those 4 subject areas. Here's the important thing to know about those standards. There are more standards in a grade level than they can teach. More standards than they can teach, all of which are eligible to be tested. And you don't know which ones. All right, so if you had a child in school and they were taking, I taught 8th grade math. They were taking 8th grade math, and the teacher gave a test in 8th grade math on areas the teacher had never covered, what would you do? Well, you'd complain, wouldn't you? Legitimately so. You're going to give a test on something you never taught? Now you have insight into the standardized testing system. So they don't say it's going to be on these 100 things. Make sure you cover them. There's 150 things, but we're only going to test 100, and you only got time to teach 100. But we don't tell you which ones. So that gives a little insight, but it's the system by which we're rated, so, or whatever that's worth. You go to the next one. All right, so these are predictors of college success, right? ACT, SAT. All right, the bottom line of these two graphics up here, our students that take the SAT and the ACT score above the national average and above the state average, and pretty consistently do that over time. That's a predictor of college success. You may not know any of these people, but I know some people that I went to school with. They did really well on the SAT. Nobody took the ACT back when I went to college. At least in South Carolina, it was an SAT state. They blew the top out of the SAT, and they were gone by Christmas. They made, some of them made some bad decisions. Some of them spent too much. I went to Clemson. Some of them spent too much time downtown. We got a better indicator, we believe, and we'll talk about that in just a second. So if you go to the next one. Class of 24 was offered $168 million in scholarships. All right, this year's budget, $922 million. So that's a one-year return on investment in that one class of $168 million. Our grad rate, 85.1%. That's a 23 grad rate. Grad rate, the 24 is embargoed. It's going to go up, though, because we know the numbers we sent to them. We collect the data, send it to the state, and they verify it. And you saw the percent increase. This is a better indicator of college readiness. If you look to the left, you'll see numbers from 15-16 and to the right from last year. So in our 16-17. So in 16-17, our students through AP and dual credit, 16,086 college credit hours. Last year, 37,164. That means they walked across the stage with their diploma and they got a transcript that's got college credit on it, taught by college faculty or one of our teachers that qualifies as an adjunct faculty at the college, which means they got to have the same qualifications as a college professor does. So the next one. The next one's industry certifications. When you graduate, we want you to have either college credit or industry certification or both. So in 16-17, our students earned 601 industry certifications. This past year, 12,274 in all kind of areas. They can go straight to work. And they're not going to make minimum wage. They're going to make reasonable hourly wages. And most of them are stackable. You can build on them. Or you can continue and get a 2-year degree in some of them. And some are a pathway to a 4-year degree. But you can go right out, go to work, get a good job, make a good wage. Go to the next one. So we call that getting a G+, graduation plus. Last year, 81% of our students, so 4,243 out of 5,237 graduates attained a plus. College credit or industry certification or both. That's 81% compared to 58%. And as you can imagine, those numbers 10, 12, 13 years ago were very negligible. We didn't even have that concept then. If you go to the next one. That's the number of CTE, so career and technical credits our students earn. 17,000 students earned 34,084 CTE credits. Those are the programs at our Innovation Center. We got 5 career centers, 4 regional ones, 1 innovation center at the base of Roper Mountain. You may have seen it going by on 385. Those 5 programs do not exist. One of them doesn't exist anywhere else in the country, emerging automotive research. The others, there are a few in the country, and there's 3 of them that don't exist anywhere else in South Carolina. One of the things that I skipped over, so I talked to you about dual credit, talked to you about certifications, talked to you about CTE credits. That full presentation that we sent over here to you, if you want to see that list, like some cases it's 100 and something courses. The whole list is in that presentation through a QR code if you're interested in getting more information. This is extremely important, and this is how you might help us in your business or industry. We want students out working and being paid for internships, co-ops, and apprenticeships. We got 1,757 students in that now. We could double that number tomorrow. The reason we can't double it, we don't have enough slots for them to go to. But we're not asking you to do something we don't do. We hire them within the district. We've got a diesel mechanics student working down in our heavy motor shop. We have had HVAC students working with our maintenance techs in HVAC. We've got culinary arts students working in food and nutrition services. We have had students working in communications. If you want to know more about that, you can ask us about it, but more importantly, we can give you a list of employers to talk to and the kind of success they have experienced with the students they have and the number of them they have offered permanent employment to. But we need more places for them to go. All right, this is the reason that we're 8th from the bottom and not at the bottom. It's a good reason. We pay our teachers more. Ranked number 3 in the state in what we pay a teacher. We were the first in the state to go over 40,000. Starting teacher pay this year is 50,503. And if you have a doctorate in 36 years, you can make $104,000 a year. Now, in all fairness, there's like 7 people that are in that category. If you drop to that next one, there are a significant number of people that have a master's plus 30 in 36 years. But you can sort of imagine what the top end of our salary schedule looks like if you've got above a master's and you're above 28, 29, 30 years. You see our average, the South Carolina average and the Southeastern average, those numbers are old. We know what our current average is. So obviously that costs a lot to do that. The other thing that's missing there, that's what we pay them. So that number right there, if it's a position that already existed this past year, you have to multiply that times 1.34 because we got to pay for their benefits. And for a position that already exists, that's 34% of the position. If it's a new position, we grow every year, so we got to add more teachers. It's 42. So it's 1.42 for every dollar we pay them in salary. So you go to the next one. You see the advancement we've made in 2010 and 11. We were number 24 in the state at 32,595. We don't have our ranking for this year. It'll likely be somewhere between number 3 and number 5. We know we won't hit number 1 because that's 56,000. So we'll probably be number 3 or number 4 when we get all the numbers from every district in the state. Last year we were number 3. Saw how we steadily increased. Go to the next one. This is always very important to people. It's become especially important after what happened in Georgia 2 weeks ago now. This is how we handle those things, because I'm getting close to the end of my time, if not at the end of it. The most important thing on that one slide is the bottom. That's how we assess a threat. We use a behavioral threat assessment and management system that was designed originally by the Secret Service and the FBI. The threats uttered is put through that matrix. It's assessed by a group of people, including law enforcement representative, and that determines the action that we will take. Most threats do not rise to a credible level, and the most common thing we deal with are people that take things instead of, in a minute, I'll tell you what's the most effective deterrent to this. Instead of doing what we ask them to do, they pass it around on social media. So immediately following that incident in Georgia, and this happens every time there's an act of violence in a school, we've seen it over several years, people start passing these vague threats around. And you can pretty quickly run some of them down, and you know it originated, we had one week and a half ago, it originated in Mississippi and named Mississippi schools. Somebody took that, not just in our district, reposted it with cut and paste the names. They did that repeated places all over the Southeast. But it was the exact, when you look at it, you know immediately, that's exactly the same wording, that's the same thing, that's all they did. It chews up time and resources. And we put significant resources in this. So some of the other things we do, the important point on that one slide, we've got a district emergency response team. We respond with EMS, fire, and law enforcement. We train with them. We practice with them. They know all our protocols. We know all their protocols. And we know immediately if we arrive at a school where something's happened, who to go see, because all of our titles within that response align with all those first responders. They know who to go to talk to. We know who to go talk to. They know how we respond. We know how they respond. Go to the next one. About the number of SROs we have. We use a weapons detection system. Highly effective. Been to anything at Bon Secours lately? The arena? You pass through it. Probably didn't know it. It's the same type system we use. The two great advantages is it does an excellent job detecting. It's not a metal detector. It operates off of AI, shapes, pre-learned weapon design, all that sort of thing. But the most important thing is you don't slow up going through it. You can walk through it at a regular pace. Everybody, anytime there's a school shooting, you hear a clamor, you see it on social media, put in metal detectors. You ever seen a metal detector in operation? How slow is it? All that does is create a target-rich environment on the other side of it. Now you got all these people lined up to go through it. Next one. You see what we've spent from 2012 to 24. We've increased our spending 659%. We spent about $105 million. It's unfortunate we had to do that, but that's what we have to do. That takes resources out of the classroom though. We have to protect people. We have to protect our students, our faculty, and our staff. Go to the next one. That's the single most important thing you can do, the top right-hand corner. If you open a Chromebook in this district, we're a one-to-one district, student opens a Chromebook, that's at the top right-hand corner. If you see something, you say something. Almost every mass act of violence in a school in this country has been predicated by people heard something, observed something, something was wrong. They noticed it, but they didn't say anything about it. If you will do that, not spread it around social media, but actually report it, that is the most effective thing. So that would be where I'd normally take questions, but I sense my time is up. I may have gone over.
Thank you, Burke. So this has traditionally been one of the most exciting and well-attended programs of the year, because education is a tenet of Rotary, and we're really excited to have participated in Teacher of the Year for over, we don't know how many years, but I know it's been over 35 years. Most of us joined Rotary because, for different reasons, but most of us probably wanted to make a difference. If you really want to make a difference, you should be a teacher, because they truly change lives. And so we're really honored to be here today to recognize some of the best teachers here in Greenville County. It was kind of that, and I've heard Burke say before too, so he'll agree with me, that the most important factor of a child's education is the classroom teacher. You can have all the policies in the world, but it's really that classroom teacher that makes the connection. And so it's also understanding that is the reason our club decided to partner with Alexandria Elementary School. We know how difficult a teacher's job is, but when you're a teacher with a really high poverty rate, your job's even more difficult, because not only are you worried about teaching the children, you worry about all those outside factors that those children have to deal with. And so one of the, we do many things at Alexandria Elementary School. You heard about Happy Feet or Rotary Readers, all the things that we do. But one of the things that we also started to do is recognize the Alexander Elementary School Teacher and Staff Person of the Month. And so today, I really am honored to recognize Brittany Choice, who's our third grade teacher. Brittany, please stand up. Being an Elevate school, this is her first year at Alexander, but it's her 11th year in education. And they also have a staff member of the month, Michaela Latafe. I tried practicing that, but I'm not sure I really got it right. That was good. So she is a permanent substitute at the school, and she is a licensed registered teacher from Pennsylvania who just moved here right when school started. Wasn't sure if she was going to stay, and so she's basically is at the school daily, substituting for whomever is out, which is a great resource for them. And clearly, she's doing a great job. And so for you teachers and administrators who are here, she's going to be staying, I'm sure. And so she'll be looking for a permanent job next year in the classroom. So thank you for all you do for the students at Alexander. It really means a lot to us. I know it does to them. All right, so now on to our Teacher of the Year. So I think it's really important to understand the process of Teacher of the Year and how comprehensive it is. I was a judge for 6 years. I know Wade did it for several years. And each school selects one teacher to represent their school. Those teachers fill out an in-depth, very comprehensive questionnaire that's closely related to the state Teacher of the Year requirements. And the top 10 teachers are selected based off those applications. And realize there's about 90 probably people who submit. The school district has a group of people who read through all the applications with the teachers' names and schools whited out, and then they give the judges approximately 20 applications to read. And just to kind of give you an understanding, it took me about 45 minutes to read and score each application. So it's really a big time commitment. But the top 10 teachers are based off that application. Then the next step is the classroom visits. And the classroom, the teachers have no idea when they're coming. They usually know within a week or maybe a couple of days, and then you show up, and then you just observe them in the classroom. And it's really that's really the the most exciting part of it. It was really witnessing the creativity and their lesson planning and the respect that they command from their students. And it's really, truly inspiring. And then they have the teacher interviews. And then from then, they judge they pick the winners, the winner and the runners up of the teacher year. So we're going to really get introduced to our runners up and our teacher of the year. We're blessed to have all of them here today. I also want to say that we're also blessed to have a former teacher of the year with us today. Brenda Keefus, Andrea's mom, was introduced as a visitor, but she is a former Greenville County Teacher of the Year, and she was a special education teacher. So thank you, Brenda, for coming today. All right, so now enough talking. Let's go ahead and see the videos of our winners.
My name is Frances McNeely, and I teach 9th grade Algebra 1 at Wade Hampton High School.
All right, and it's asking for the average rate of change. What is average rate of change?
I grew up in Greenville County, and I went to Simpsonville Elementary, and I would often be the class math tutor. I just felt like I enjoyed helping.
All right, and we're looking for slow.
But it felt like a calling. It felt like once I committed to teaching, all the doors started opening.
If here's our X, what should our Y value be with our 1?
Every day is different. I love being able to work with students, and they teach me something every day too. I think I enjoy connecting with students. I enjoy being able to refine my craft as a teacher.
+4. And then what's our Y value?
I have enjoyed investing in my community. I look at teaching as an investment in the community. Teaching is truly a work of the heart. And I think about what my teachers did for me, and I want to do that for my students.
Hi, I'm going to buy you some time. So I was really excited to see Frances up here as one of the winners today. I taught Frances in Sunday school when she was like this big. That's why she's such a good teacher, because she learned from me, right? She has a twin sister, Eleanor, and so they were to come, really, really cute little girls. I also coached her brother in basketball, and I knew he would not be a teacher early on. Well, you can see how interactive Frances is in her classroom. And so Frances is a math teacher at Wade Hampton High School. Frances, come on up. So Frances, on behalf of the Rotary Club of Greenville, we really thank you for all that you do for your students, and we recognize you with this cash reward. Second runner-up is Carla Cannon, who is a Spanish teacher at Riverside High School.
I'm Carla Cannon, and I am a Spanish teacher at Riverside High School.
Read out what it says. Muy bien.
I have been a teacher now for 14 years. My teaching journey is a non-traditional one. My 4th year of college at Furman, I was taking Spanish as a lot of my elective courses, and I knew that I wanted to do more with that I had a passion.
So if I change that E to I.
I entered the PACE program, became certified while I was teaching, and then have just continued my education along the way.
Stem changers, like our IR stem changing verbs.
There are a lot of things I love about teaching at Riverside. I love that we have a really unique, diverse student body. So we have students from not only all over the country, but all over the world.
You're racing, but it has to be correct. Being fast is not the most important thing.
Everything I do comes from my heart. I'm passionate about teaching them by modeling for them and leading by example, being a lifelong learner, that it can motivate them to do the same and really make a lasting impact in their lives.
And so for you to be recognized as a foreign language teacher of the year is very, very impressive. And so we thank you for all that you do. And on behalf of the Rotary Club, we would like to honor you with this cash reward. Thank you. Brian Rockelboom, close. Got it? Okay. He is a building construction instructor at the Golden Strip Career Center.
My name is Brian Rockelboom. I teach building construction at Golden Strip Career Center.
I'm going to drop my saw back to 0.
For me, my journey was very unique becoming a teacher.
19.21, right? So we're going to multiply that by.
I always knew I wanted to be teaching, so I came in on the alternative pathway to teaching, which has helped me as a teacher because now I can show my students that there's more than one path to the journey. For me, it's getting to take students who maybe don't know anything about construction, maybe don't trust their skills in construction, and they get to take a project that starts as nothing and see it come into fulfillment. We're very hands-on. I take teaching outside of the classroom, outside of the desk. So we take those real-world industry projects, we bring them to life in the classroom. So what keeps me coming back every day is just when these students shatter expectations.
3/16.
Getting work-based learning opportunities where they go work while being in high school, and then getting those industry partners to come back and say, these kids are better than the adults I have on my job force. We want these kids, no matter whether they go college or career, to know that they're leaving Golden Strip Career Center, college and career ready in every aspect.
But anyway, we thank you for all that you do. We thank you for your dedication to the students of Greenville County. And I personally thank you for developing some more contractors out there. And we recognize you with this cash reward. Thank you. All right, so next we have Chelsea Troutman, who is a third grade teacher at Brushy Creek Elementary School. And she is the Greenville County Teacher of the Year. And I'm trying to have a connection with everybody. So Chelsea's husband is an architect, and I've known Stephen for a long time. We went to church together also many years ago, and church is a great thing around here, y'all.
I'm Chelsea Troutman. I'm from Brushy Creek Elementary, and I teach third grade.
75% of the air is moisture.
I am a product of Greenville County Schools. I went to school and had some amazing teachers who had a really profound impact on me.
Filled up our rain gauge so you could see our tool at the top here that shows us our measurement.
My students are so important. They're the reason I show up every single day.
You're gonna use all your readings to plan your weather report.
I just love that I'm able to watch them grow every single day and get to be a part of that growth.
You've got your rainfall and humidity.
I want my students to be lifelong learners and really get excited about learning.
Our windsock is gonna be flowing.
I feel so fortunate that I am able to show up to a job that I love to do every single day. Every day is a new day. I couldn't imagine doing any other job.
Just like you gather together to plan and implement community service projects across your 7 areas of focus, educators across our district reach out beyond their classrooms to tackle the tough challenges we face. We know that we're stronger together. I've spent a great deal of time collaborating with our first-year teachers through Greenville County Schools mentoring program over the last 7 years, guiding the productive struggle and watching it bloom into valuable learning experiences for those first-year teachers has been a joy and an honor. While I take pride in collaborating with these new educators to provide feedback in their areas of growth, my greatest excitement comes from observing their unique teaching styles. I'm often inspired to incorporate their unique practices into my own classroom, breathing new life and fresh perspectives into my teaching. Likewise, my students have become my most prized collaborators. I get instant feedback from them on the effectiveness of the lessons that I teach and strategies used. More often than not, they introduce new ways of thinking that I make note to add to future lesson plans. One student recently shared how he annotated a math problem to break it down into chunks, and the strategy supported many other students, preventing them from mistakes that they had previously made. Having a classroom where students are free to collaborate has enriched my teaching as well as their learning. The value of this kind of teamwork The value that this kind of teamwork adds to any kind of organization is immeasurable. It takes time and energy to reach out and listen to others, but the gains are worth it. Remember that collaborators can take all forms and even appear when you aren't even looking. I want to encourage you all to hold out a supporting hand and embolden others to proclaim their ideas with confidence. I look forward to the future of my position as District Teacher of the Year, working with Dr. Royster, who leads our district with dedication and pride, my fellow educators, and community members like you who work together to support the cherished people of Greenville County. Thank you for your continued service.
Chelsea, thank you for all that you do. It's very enlightening to hear you say that you learn from your students, because that really is a sign of a lifelong learner, and we appreciate you. We'd honor you with a reward on behalf of all your dedication to the students of Greenville County, and we just really appreciate all you teachers and all that you do. And pretty soon you can retire and become a Rotarian, and we welcome you with open arms. So let's give all of our teachers a big round of applause.
Congratulations again to all the teachers, and thank you for your hard work. And Chelsea, that was great how you tied the Rotary 7 areas of focus into your speech. That was perfect. Thank you. A couple quick announcements. Actually, I did the announcements already. Just one more thing. We will, as always, we have Dr. Royster signed a book that we will donate to Alexander Elementary School's library. And one last reminder about the 4 things we're looking for from our members this year. Help out with Kringle. Bring somebody to DR. If you can't get somebody to DR, bring them to our coffee. We have a coffee on Thursday mornings that's also turned into a nice conduit for us to introduce people in a much less formal atmosphere to our club. So bring them to a coffee if you can't get them to a DR. Get involved in your club, and last but not least, have fun. So if you'll stand, we'll do the 4-way test and get you all out of here. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?